Okay, 702. This is your, if I find it, here we go. All right, let's get this done. Okay, so we have a lot of things going on over here. And my pen's not working. Now it's working. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Okay, here we go. So let's change this to an improper. So 7, 8, that's 12 over 7 times 3 over 4 divided by 2 1/3, which I'm going to take advantage and change that as well. Minus 0.3, I'm going to change that to a fraction. So we got to do these three first, multiplying, then dividing, then subtraction. So let's multiply. Can I simplify? Yes, I can. So I got 3 and 3 is 9 over 7. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, and by the way, this is negative, and I'm just going to go 3 over 7 minus 3/10. There's nothing to simplify, so I know a negative and a positive is a negative, and it's 27 over 49 minus 3/10. So the LCM is probably going to be 490. Okay. Subtraction times 10, that's 270. 3 times 49, 27, 2, 144, 147. So we're subtracting. So if I change that to an addition problem, it becomes like this. It's going to be also negative 147 over 490. So I'm adding two negatives. So it's going to be negative. So when you add two negatives, it just becomes more negatives. So I'm going to add 270 over 147. 711, 417. And that's my final answer. B. So I'm looking for two negative numbers. Well, I know it's two negative numbers that added to 32.5 will give me 85.2. There's a lot of ways you can solve this. I'm going to take the opportunity and start combine like terms first. Okay, so it's a little preview of your next unit. So it's 2x, x plus x is just 2x. I can inverse operation, I can add 32.5, so if I add these two, it becomes 0, right? And I get 2x left over here. If I add 32.5 here, I have to add 32.5 over here, right? So my addition, so let me just write this the long way, 84.2 plus 32.5. And if I add this negative and positive, there's more negative, so I gotta subtract these two. 32.5, let me subtract. 12 minus 5 is 7, this was a 4, which became a 3. 1 and 3, so it's 51, negative 51.7. Negative 51.7, which I'm now going to divide by 2. Divide this side by 2, and x is going to be a negative number. So what's half of 51.7? Well, let's figure that out. 2 goes into 5 2 times. Subtract, you get 11, 5, 10, 117, and put a decimal on top 8 times, 16, 10, 25, 85, and just make sure that it's negative. That sort of makes sense, right? If you were to estimate, well, you can always check by replacing the x's with 25, 85. So you get 32.5 plus 25, negative 25.5 plus another negative 25.5, and that sort of, you can tell it looks like 84. Okay, be a little lazy here and not add those two, but 25 plus 25 is about 50 plus 32 is 82 plus the little, you know, the 85, 0.85, 0.85, 0.5. That should give you some. I know I am very close to my answer. The proper way would be to check and replace and check, but it's too early for that. Okay, so here we have a subtraction and a division. So let's take the opportunity to change everything to an improper. So 8 times 1, so it's negative 11 over 8, minus 5 times 2 is 10, 11 over 5. And I'm just going to change that to 2 over 10. And I'm going to take an even bigger step and replace 2 over 10 with 1 over 5. Just to simplify. So let's subtract first. LCM, you know it's 40. So this is times 5, so it's 55 times 8 is going to be 88. So again, let me take that to the side. 55 minus 88 is the same thing as 55 plus negative 88. So we're going to be adding these two numbers. So 55 and 88 is 3, goes 1, 6, 143. Negative 143, so let me just continue here. Negative 143 over 40, which we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 5 over 1. There's some, I can simplify 5 and 40. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 8 divided by 5 is 8. Negative times a positive is a negative, so I get 143 over 8. And we can change that to a mixed number. Figure out how many times 8 goes into 143, leftovers, stuff like that, etc. But I'm going to leave the answer like that. Okay, so if you got this far, I'm pretty sure you can get to the end. F, there's division, there's subtraction, there's division again. So there's a lot of things going on here. So let's do this. So I'm going to do the numerator first. So I'm going to get 3/8. Let me change that to multiplication. I'm going to get 6 over 5 negative minus, what do you call, 1.5, which is 15 over 10. All right, I'm going to leave that bottom part for later. So I'm going to find my numerator first and then divide it by 2.4. So let's take care of the numerator. So over here, it's multiplication. I can simplify this. Divided by 2 is 3. Divided by 2 is 4. So 3 times 3 is negative 9 over 20 minus 15 over 10. So I'm still in the numerator part. LCM is going to be 20. So negative 20. That stays. This is going to be a 10. So it's times 2 at the top. It's going to be 30. So this is going to give me negative 39 over 20, which I'm now going to divide that by 2.4. And I'm going to change 2.4 to 24 over 10. Negative 39 over 20 times 10 over 24. And I can simplify a few things. This is divided by 10 is 1, divided by 10 is 2. And that's, I can divide 24 by 3, which is 8, 39 by 3, which is 13. So on the top, I got negative 13 times 1, which is negative, and negative 13 over 2 times 8 is 16. Final answer. I skip one. Yes, I skip this. So 9 over 20 divided by 15 over 100 divided, which I can, don't simplify yet, simplify now. 10 over 15. Now you can simplify. So again, divide by 10, divide by 10, divide by 3 is 3, divided by 3 is 5. 3 times 1, let me put a 1 here. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 5 is 10. 3 tenths. Bottom one, letter E. 1.2. Well, these are all decimals, so let's just keep it as a decimal. So 1.2 times 0.22 times 35. So I know my answer is going to be positive because a positive times a negative. These two is going to give me a negative. And this negative with this negative is going to be a positive. So there, I took care of my signs. Now it's just a matter of multiplying. So I have 0.22 times 1.2, 4, and this is going to be 2, 2. So if I multiply that, I get 4, 6, 2. There are 2 decimal places here, 1 decimal place over here for a total of 3. And so my answer should have 3 decimal places. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Here's my decimal, 0.264. 0.264 minus or times negative 35. So this was a negative, and then so let me erase this for a second so I know that these two gave me that. So now I'm going to multiply by the negative 35. So it's negative 0.264 times negative negative 35. I don't know where I got the 34 from. Times 35, a whole number 35. There's 3 decimal places over here, no decimal place over here, so my answer should have 3 decimal places. So multiply 20, 32, 3, 13, 12, 19, and 7. 0, 4, 12, 9, 3 decimal places. Final answer, 9.240, or just 9.24 is fine. Another complex fraction over here, so let's change that. So I'm going to write the whole number over 1. And divide that by 5 times 5 is 25, plus 2 is 27 over 5. Let's switch that. Times 5 over 27. It's going to be a negative. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 27 is 27. And I should have simplified here 3 and 7, but I didn't, so I have to simplify now. Divided by 3 is 5. Divided by 3 at the bottom is 9. Negative 5 9. So there is a absolute value here, and there's a 3. So the negative 3 is multiplying by the absolute value of whatever this whole thing here is. So let's figure out what that whole thing in the middle is. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, and then minus 15, and that you can write as negative 6 plus negative 15, which is negative 21. So we get negative 21 here, minus negative 19. So the absolute value of negative 21 is 21, so let's just clean this up a little bit, write it like this. Okay, so now I have 3 times 21, which is negative 63, minus negative 19. If you want to change that to an addition, it becomes negative 63 plus 19. There's more negatives, right? So the absolute value, so you know the answer is going to be, let's take a sign of the number with bigger absolute value, so we have to find the difference. So if you make 0 pairs, you're going to have a lot of negative numbers left over. So let's see how many you have left over. 13 minus 9 is 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. So negative 44. Moving H, now I. Subtraction and then a division. So let's do subtraction. Is 3 over 7. Minus 5 times 1 is 5. 9 over 5. Let's take care of this first. LCM is going to be 35, so I'm going to put 35 like that. 5 times 3 is 21, minus 7 times 9 is 63, so you get this fraction over here. So if I were to write 21 minus 63 as an addition, I would get this. Right? So now if you make 0 pairs, you know there's going to be more negatives left over, so let's find the difference. Let's get 42, so negative 42. So you're going to get negative 42 over 35, divided, let's change it to multiplication, and it's going to be 8 over 9 to reciprocal. Can we simplify anything? 14 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 14. Yeah, we can simplify. 9 divided by 3 is 3. This is going to be 14 divided by 3. Up negative and negative is a positive. 14 times 8 is 112. And 35 times 3 is 35, 70, 105. Or if you change that, 1 and 7 over 105, right? Find the mean, so I have to add all those numbers and then divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's add. So let's write this as an addition sentence. Negative 12 plus negative 8 plus 4 plus negative 22 plus 17. All that divided by 5. Let's add it up. Negative 12 and negative 8 is negative 20. Plus 4 is going to give me negative 16. Negative 16 plus negative 22. It's going to give me negative 38, right? And then negative 38 plus 17 is going to be negative 21. Yeah, negative 21. So all that equals negative 21, and we're going to divide that by 5. So let me do 21 divided by 5. It's 4, 20, add a decimal, so you can put 0. 4 goes into 10 2 times. So negative 4.2. It's pretty simple. Make it so easy. Now we have a multiplication, and well, there's a lot of things going on. So let's take that. 1 over 5 times the sum of this. So we have to find the sum. So negative 1 over 7 plus 305 over, what is this, over 100? Then divided by 5, 6. Ugh. So we have to do the addition on these to make it easier. If I must divide this by 5. So 1 over 5, negative 1/7, plus divided by 5, I get 20. Divided by 5 is 305, divided by 5. 6, 30, 61. So that would be 61. A little bit more manageable, divided by 5, 6. 1/5. Again, let's find out what this is inside. So the LCM is going to be 140, right? So it's 140. So I'm just going to write 140. And this is times 20, so it's going to be negative 20 on top, plus 20 times 7 gives you 140, so 61 times 7 is going to be 427. And then all that divided by 5, 6. Let me erase to continue. So it's 1/5, and inside the parentheses, I know it's going to be something over 140. Negative 20 plus 427, there's definitely more positive, so it's going to be the difference between them, which is going to be 407. And then divided that. You know what? I'm going to take advantage and change that division. Change that division right now to multiplication, and I'm going to write it as 6 over 5. So we got 3 things multiplying. Can I simplify anything? I can. I can. No, I can't. Yes, I can. The 140 with a 6. I can. So you could have done these two and then multiply by 6/5. It's saying you're going to get the same answer. So I'm going to simplify this. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 6 divided by 2 is 170. Is there anything I can simplify? No. So I have left over 1 times 407 times 3, and that's going to be 1 times 407 times 3 is 407 plus 407 plus 407, which is going to be 1,221 on top. 5 times 70 is, I have no idea, 350, 350 times 5 is 0, 25 goes 2, 1,750. And that's your final answer. The elevation of an airplane changed from 2,500 feet to 8,250 seconds. What was the change? So the change rate, so it dropped from 25,000 to 8,200. So let's see how much the airplane dropped. 0, 0, 10 minus 2 is 8. This was a 14 minus 8 is 6. 6,800, so the change in elevation was 6,800 divided by 50 because I want to change per second, right? So in 50 seconds it dropped 6,850. If I divide that, I'm going to get something per second. And 6,800 divided by 50, let's take the 0 out and make it 680 divided by 5. So that's 1, 5, 18, 15, 36. So that's going to give me 136 negative. So feet per second. So if you were to write this as a sentence, the airplane dropped at a rate of 136 feet per second. Am I almost done? Sort of. So there's no bonus word today. But instead of bonus word, here's how you're going to get your bonus. On Monday, you are to wear socks of different colors. So your left and the right should not match. And that's how I know you watched the video. If you want to get the bonus points. Okay, so there is your task for Monday morning. Wear socks that are not matching. Okay, so we have to evaluate each of these expressions. So let's take that. Let's do the first one. So the first one, it's the absolute value of the whole thing in the middle, and then we got to subtract 27. So let's do this. So you got multiplication, subtraction. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. So let me do that here. Minus, and 5 times 8 is 40. Negative 10 plus negative 40, right? It's another way of writing a subtraction. And that's going to be negative 50. And that's what I take the absolute value of. So now the absolute value of negative 50 is just 50. And if I subtract 27, I get 23. Okay. 2, let's do this one at the bottom one. Again, it's the absolute value of that whole thing, and then minus that, 5 squared minus 4 squared. So let's take the absolute value first. Inside we have negative 3, and it's negative 3 to the second power, which is 9. Minus 8. 9 minus 8 is 1. And if you take the absolute value of 1, it's just 1. So you get 1 minus 5 squared, which is 25. And 4 squared, which is 16. So again, you can do this as it is if you're very comfortable. If not, change it. 1 plus negative 25 plus negative 16, if you so prefer. 1 plus negative 25 is negative 24. Negative 24 plus negative 16 is going to give you negative 40. And that's the final answer for this one right here. Now we have negative 3 multiplied by the absolute value of what's inside here, minus the absolute value of what's inside. So we have to take the absolute value first before we do anything. So we get negative 3. And we are taking the absolute value of negative 8 minus 15, and negative 8 plus negative 15 is another way of writing that. So that we get negative 23 minus the absolute value of 4 times negative 5. 4 times negative 5 is a positive times a negative, so you get negative 20. Right, so let's take the absolute value now. So it's negative 3 times the absolute value of negative 23, which is 23, minus the absolute value of negative 20, which is 20. So that's what you should aim for. So negative times a positive is a negative. 23 times 3 is going to be 969. Minus 20. And again, we can change that to an addition. Negative 69 plus negative 20. It's going to give you negative 89. Okay. And the last one, again, we have to change this is my unknown. Think of it as an unknown value, right? I don't know what that equals to, so let's find what that equals to and then change that to, or find the absolute value. So we have an addition and a division, so let's take care of the division. 12 divided by negative 6 is negative 2, so we've got 9.5 plus the quotient of 12 divided by negative 6 is going to give you a negative, and it's 12 divided by negative 6 is negative 2. Yeah. So now we can add 9.5 plus negative 2, so I'm going to give you 7.5 divided by 3 minus 1 to the fourth. 7.5 absolute value, that's just 7.5. Yuck. Really? 6 divided by 3 minus 1 to the fourth power is just 1. Eesh, what an ugly number. I don't get decimals. Let me see. 7.5 divided by 3 is 2. Oh, it works out nice. 2, 6, decimal. 2.5. What was I thinking? So 7.5 divided by 3 is 2.5 minus 1, 1.5. Not that bad. And then 2 more problems. Wow, that's super easy. Let's do this one. Take the absolute value of that. So 0.71 minus 1.2, which you can take again, change it to addition. 0.71 plus negative 1.2. You know that. So there are more negatives, so you have to find the difference. So let's find the difference. 1.2 minus 0.71. Placeholder. Borrow 0, 12, 11. 10 minus 1 is 9. 11 minus 7 is 4. So 0.49 negative. So you're going to take the absolute value of negative 0.49 minus 5 times negative, right? So remember, this 3 is not affecting the minus sign, so just pretend the minus sign is just waiting there. Find what 3 to the third power is, which is 27. So this is what we're going to get. Absolute value 0.49 is 0.49 minus 5 times No, maybe put it in parentheses. I think that's better. So you have a choice between subtracting or multiplying, so definitely do multiplying. So this is going to hang out here for a while and just wait. And let's take 5, so we're doing this part here. 5 times negative 27 is going to be negative something. 5 times 27, 35, 135. So that's what we get. Now, 0.49 changes to addition, it's going to be plus 135, and that's super easy to do. So you get 135.49. So this part here, let us write it down. 715 divided by negative 3 over 8 minus negative 0.5. So that's how I would write out. We obviously have to do division first. So negative 7 over 15 times negative 8 over 3. Let's figure out what that is. Minus, okay, so we got to take care of this first. Simplify, shoot, no. So negative times negative is positive, so it's going to be 7 times 8, which is 56. 15 times 3 is 45. So 56 over 45 minus negative 0.15, which I'm going to change to a, what do you call this? A fraction. I can simplify 15 over 100. Okay, so instead of dealing with 15 over 100, let's deal with a small fraction. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. Right, rewrite this again. So 15 divided by 5 is 3, and 100 divided by 5 is 20. A little bit more manageable. So we're subtracting, so we can change this to addition, but let's find the LCM first. So it's going to be 90, no, 180. 180 minus negative something over 180. 45 times 4 equals 180, so 56 times 4, which is 24, goes to 224. And 20 times 9 equals 180, so times 9 on top is 27. So again, now we have negative 224 minus negative 27 over 100, 27 over 180. And you know that if you change that to an addition problem, it becomes this. 224 over 180 plus, and we're taking the opposite of that, right? So it's going to be 27 over 180. And we're going to get 251. Which, if you change the mixed number, 180 goes into 251 one time, and you're going to have 20, 50, 71 left over 180. And that's your final answer. Okay? And that's it. That's simple. Really simple.